Broadcasting live from a small island off the coast of Sigmar. It's Warhammer time. Every Tuesday we look at the new stuff from Games Workshop. Because why? One, I like toys, and I like looking at these because I cannot paste these as well as these guys can. And two, because nobody else in my corner of the tabletop role-playing game world really covers Games Workshop. So I figured, why not? I mean, even if you don't play Warhammer, the figures are cool. And some of them can be used for your tabletop role-playing game of choice. So we've got some news since the last time we visited this page. About 4 or 5 stories. We've got some information on the new Warhammer 40K units, specifically the Norn. So we have how to tell the difference between units, basically. So since so many of the units can look a lot alike, and it's all based upon how much points you want to put in each army and blah, 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 Warhammer stuff. If you're just learning how to play, they're doing a series of, intro to the game, how to tell the difference, how to spend points kind of thing. So you have 2 units that are basically the same, the Norn Emissary and the Norn Assimilator. So what's the difference? The point buy looks about the same. The spread of steps looks about the same. My glasses are dirty. So what's the difference? Well, the Norn Emissary has got plus 4 points of invulnerability, and the Norn Assimilator does not. So if you wanted to buy the Emissary, it would cost you a few more points to build that one, which might mean your army is a little bit smaller, but you have a slightly tougher unit. Okay. Here's a example battle for 40K. So we have no actual pictures of the figures, but we do have a battle report. So this is one of the many ways Warhammer Games Workshop tries to get you hooked into buying more stuff. They present you, especially whenever a new version comes out. Why'd I get on my glasses? Yeah, I hate this. Battle scenarios. And battle scenarios is like, okay, here's an example unit you could build. Here's an example unit your opponent could build, or some variation thereof. Here's the results we had fighting out this battle. What were your results? And then you fight out the battle and see if you are similar or to the example. And then they're like, wouldn't you like to play out other scenarios? Because, we've got more scenarios and more figures, and you're salivating Pavlovian OCD brains going, yes, must have more figures, must have more figures. And that's how they get you. More information on Warhammer 40K, specifically the units known as the Tyranids, and the design thoughts that went into designing the look of the Tyranids this time around, and differences in the units than the last time, because they just updated the rules yet again. So, yeah. And the Tyranids look pretty much the same. As always, sort of vaguely reptilian, vaguely insectly, vaguely Lovecraftian. Very similar to the bad guys from the Starship Troopers movie, not the Starship Troopers book, but the Starship Troopers movie. Remember the bugs. So the Tyranid have already sort of been Lovecraftian insect lizard people. I guess this time around, they're definitely leaning more into the insect with the chitinous armor and stuff, and the wings and everything. And here's some examples of how they built them, how they painted them, how they played them out, what they think the Tyranids will do in this build this time around. Any new rumors? No. Like I said before, this is one of the many things I love about this channel, because even if they have nothing on the channel every week, they will post rumors. And even if they don't have any rumors, they will jokingly make stuff about the fact that they don't have any rumors or news this week. I think other game companies should do that. We've got an open preview coming up at Nova. I guess Nova is a convention. This is a 2023, runs from the 30th of August to the 31st of August. Live coverage of the event will be held from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday through Sunday of the first weekend of September. So we've got previews coming out, and then we've got the event playing through them. Doesn't say where. So I guess this is an online only. Not sure what the Nova Open is. Maybe it was just a Warhammer tournament series that they've since taken online because of COVID. And apparently has something to do with this cute little dude. Look at this cute little dude. He's so cute. Little dog, demon, whatever this is, with an anvil on his head. He's cool. He's cute. So if you want to watch them play out and preview some of the new stuff for all the various Warhammer lines, go to the Nova Open online YouTube Twitch or the Games Workshop online YouTube Twitch during the first weekend of September to see what's going to be previewed. New toys. Yay. We've got some stuff for Age of Sigmar. We've got some new units. We've got the Duradin and the Elven. The Duradin and the Elven. These are both units you can play out during your City of Sigmar. So, and looks like the Dark Riders are the bad guys, maybe. And then these guys are the ancestral. These are the good guys. So we got elves and dwarves versus spooky people. Here's some dwarves over here. Here's some humans maybe, or elves over here. And then here's the spooky people down here. So these are two new units for, that guy looks cool. That helmet is ridiculous. It would never work, but it looks cool. Helmets like this did exist. I've talked about this before. If you ever get a chance to see the classic Russian tragedy, Alexander Nevsky, they show some of the helmets they actually wore during the Middle Ages. And some of those helmets did have ridiculous things on top of them. I mean, not this ridiculous, but it was not unusual to see a helmet, and on top of the helmet, there might have been a horsehair tail or a small figurine or something that was identified the knights or the named men over the rank and file units. So it was similar to having your coat of arms on a shield. So across the battlefield, you would know, oh, that's Ancestral Grudgebearer. And that's just some 2-point peon. And if Ancestral Grudgebearer is approaching your castle and you have a treaty with Ancestral Grudgebearer, you would see the thing on his head and know, don't fire, that's a friend. Or in the field of battle, you might go, if we kidnap that guy, we can ransom him, don't kill him. So it was a way to advertise not only your prestige and your status, but also who you were, so your friends didn't kill you. And if your enemies thought, wow, we could, ransom him, you're more likely to be alive if you're somebody important. So, yeah. That said, this one would never work. It is way too top heavy. A strong wind would knock this guy over. But, it's cool looking, so we can forgive them for coolness, right? Here's an ad for upcoming events at official Games Workshop stores and what you will get for attending these Game Workshop stores. Looks like they've got a painting deal going on and a contest to get these little collectible coins going on. Here's the coin thing. So if you play out certain scenarios at official Games Workshop, at official Games Workshop sponsored events, you can get things like these coins or free figures or free kits of paint. So if you don't have a Games Workshop in your town, check out this store finder on the website, because you might, and you just don't know it. We even have a Games Workshop store here in Ventura. And finally, we've got a sneak peek of some of the new detachments coming out for the Tyranids. Again, we just saw these. Here's a close-up of this scary-looking dude. That's a little phallic there, sir, but he's got a lot of going on. He's got a sword in one hand. He's got a tentacle in another hand. He's got a third hand that is holding this very phallic blaster. I don't know why you're aiming at the ground, sir, unless you're like flame throwing your enemy's feet. That's a pretty unusual position for your phallic blaster. And he even has something called questing tendrils. Yeah, not phallic at all. And that's the sneaks for this week. We've got the Codex Tyranids with 2 different printings. We've got the new Tyranid figures and the new Tyranid units coming out. A lot of Tyranid love this week, looks like. See, we got a whole bunch of Tyranids are just like half lizard, half insect, half Lovecraftian nightmare. That, see, you could use that in D&D. That is frightening. I'd hate to see that in a dungeon. That'd scare them. I would not want to, And just, Tyranids and G-Stealers and various variations of the Tyranids and Gene-Stealer units. And again, we're going for a slightly more skeletal insect look this year as opposed to the previous ones. Here's where you can definitely see the influence of Starship Troopers, the bug-type unit with the blaster on its back. Because things like that would evolve naturally in nature. And then you can buy pre-built unit packs if you don't want to individually build them. Another book about them. They're specifically dice for those units. Here's something for the good guys. There's a new unit for the Space Marines. So this VTOL lander. Definitely some aliens. Space military look going on there. Some new stuff being posted on the website for the stories. We've got the Tyranid Invasion 2023 stories for the Tyranid Swarms. We've got another series of books coming out. This is the Dark Disciple series. We've got The Rose in the Darkness. It's a Warhammer 40K novel. We've got Blackstone Fortress. That's another Warhammer 40K novel. We've got Defenders of the Imperium, Masters of Maelstrom, and Angor the Red Angel. These are all Warhammer 40K novels. And then we've got a battle report coming up that we can expect after Nova. So there you go. That's everything from Games Workshop this week. If any of those sound like something you want to pick up, head on over to your Games Workshop store of choice. That is, if you actually live in a city that has a Games Workshop. I do. Isn't it nice that the Games Workshop store in my town actively supports Game Workshop, but none of the half dozen tabletop role-playing game stores within a 20-minute drive actively support role-playing? Yeah, but I'm not bitter. Are you bitter? You know what the best way to not be bitter is? Sign up for my YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. Till next time, I'm the OGGM. It's Tuesday, and on Tuesday, we look at toys. Talk to you soon.